This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Going to talk to you today a little bit about the backyard meet of the century. I also wanted to tell you that this message will self-destruct 15 seconds after you're done watching it. And it's brought to you by thepowermagazine.com and howmuchyoubench.net. The backyard meet of the century was big time. Some stuff went down in the deadlift warm-up room that I have never seen before in my life. One mutant after another ripping the barbell off the floor with more force than you can possibly imagine. It was just really unbelievable. See one guy after another. George Baby Slayer Lehman, Vince Machine Gun Urbank, the Liddridge family, Ernie Jr., and Eric, ripping weights off the ground with so much speed, so much force, a lot of form and technique involved in those pulls as well. Each guy kind of had their own thing going. Pete Rubish was in that mix as well. Brandon Lilly, Jesse Burdick. I mean, these guys are just hammering. You know, it's typical to see a guy warm up at 600 and go out, start out at 675. Go 700 on their second, or 720 on their second, and then go like 760. Very common. It happens kind of quite a bit, actually. It's not too uncommon to see someone do a 700-pound deadlift in the warm-up room. It happens from time to time with guys that are pulling 800 pounds. They'll hit around a 700-pound deadlift in the warm-up room, and then they'll go 770 opener, then they'll go to 8, and then they'll try 820, and so on. But these guys were just absolutely murdering huge weights. It was really quite the spectacle. It was impressive to see. I also had Dan Green in that mix, Goldilocks, and he's pulling sumo. Pretty much everybody else is pulling conventional. And it was just really interesting to see the blend and to see just one guy. I mean, I was filming the whole thing, and you can see one guy sitting in the background while the other guy was going. Vince Urbank pulled 700 off the ground, and he pulled it basically like above his belly button. I mean, it looked like some sort of upright row of some sorts. Just the speed and velocity these guys were deadlifting with is just something I'll never forget. And I think many people that were there was people sitting on the bleachers on the other side of the gym watching the meet. They basically just stopped and were like, holy shit, what is going on there? Things got so out of control that Ernie Liddridge decided to bust up a 10-pound plate. And when he did it, he was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. But I actually thought it was great because I liked the intensity. I liked the enthusiasm. I liked that everybody was fired up. And it really seemed to bring out the best from each guy. Brent Willis was also in that mix. He's the giant Neanderthal that you see in the videos, that you'll see in the videos coming up. Just some outstanding. Some guys fell short of their goals. But so what? That happens. You roll the dice, and you don't always get what you want. Speaking of that, Stan and Rhino Efforting opened up with a 903 squat. That was a little ambitious. That was a huge PR and a huge world record. Stan's best squat previously is an 854. Looking back at it, he's even kind of mentioned to me, should have opened up about 870, 860, smashed it, and then moved on from there. No matter how good you are, or how strong you are, how experienced you are, you always have to build momentum. You always have to prove to yourself, mainly, and to everybody that's out there, everybody that's watching, the judges especially, you have to prove to everybody each and every time that you go out that you know how to lift, that you know how to perform the squat, you know how to perform the bench, you know how to perform a deadlift. Got to make it look pretty for the judges, and if the weights are too heavy, odds of you making it look pretty are not good. The odds of you making it look ugly, or the odds of you completely missing it altogether, are high. And so Stan learned his lesson from that. He's down a little bit, but he's not out. He will be back. Kind of tentatively mentioned to me that he may be doing my meet in March, which is March 24th. Could be another big backyard meet. Oh, here we go again, round 2. Also, my chubby little self should be lifting in that one full power. I had to back out of this one like a total wuss. Just felt like I was obligated to help everybody more so than just do a deadlift at the end of the day when I was grizzled. So it is what it be. Anyway, let's see. Pete Rubish did one of the most amazing squats that I have ever seen. He did a 661 squat. I mean, the guy's probably only weighs like 240 or so, 230. I know there's guys out there that lift more, but a raw squat. The guy just turned 21 years old, I believe, or maybe just turned 20. He's an absolute beast, an absolute savage, and he really, really got rounded over just horribly on the squat and was still able to finish it out. That guy's got a lot of guts. He's got a lot of intensity. By the end of the meet, those squats really took it out of him. He couldn't pull what he wanted to pull. He benched okay. I don't remember the bench numbers, and I think he pulled like 770 or something like that. Let's see, Brandon Lilly, in my opinion, kind of stole the show. He did a 22:04 total, out-totaled everybody at the meet. He was a super heavyweight. He did weigh in at around 326, which I had him lose some weight after the meet, because it's not good to just hold all that water all the time. Holding that water for a specific event or a certain period of time, not a bad idea, because it can help you with some strength. But also to lose it afterwards is important, just for overall health reasons. Anyway, Brandon was a beast. He got a PR squat. He got a PR bench. He got a PR deadlift, and he ended up with a PR total. 826 squat, 573 bench, and an 804 deadlift. I would say maybe about a year ago, I'm not 100% sure, somewhere between 10 and 14 months ago, Brandon Lilly's best deadlift in a meet was 760 pounds sumo in a canvas squat suit. And now he has deadlifted 804 raw with just a belt, conventional. So some outstanding progress for him. Whatever it is he's doing, it looks like it's working for him. So congratulations to him. He's kicking some ass. Also, the Liddridge family. To see that Liddridge family lift, guys out there who ever have a chance to go see them lift. I know they're holding an event, I believe on the same day as myself, March 24th. Look it up. Try to check out their Facebook pages. Hit them up. Eric and Ernie are both on there. Try to contact them and figure out when they have a meet, because if you don't ever get to see them lift, then you're doing yourself an injustice. This is the coolest thing, one of the coolest things I've ever seen in powerlifting. I really love this sport. I think sometimes people really lose sight of that. I have a huge passion for this sport, a burning desire to help improve the sport, a burning desire to help push the sport and make the sport more well-known and more available. And these kinds of things fire me up, because this was just, it was really incredible to see. I mean, you got Ernie Liddridge Sr. yelling at his sons, Eric and Ernie, when they were on the platform. He's like, "Tighten up, son." And, sometimes kidding around, we call each other son. But this is, in this case, it really is his son. It was really neat to see. His dad's right there, being 100% supportive. My parents have always been supportive, so I really admire that. I really like to see that. More people could use a pops like Ernie Liddridge Sr. What a class act the entire family was. And on top of it, they're monsters. I mean, they are some of the strongest guys in the world. Don't sleep on Ernie Liddridge Jr. Don't make that mistake, because that guy's got a lot of potential. He kind of botched his first squat and threw him off kind of for the whole day. But you bet your ass that guy's going to be lifting some big weights in the future. Eric did really well in the squat. He actually squatted 870, I believe, or 8. Now I'm losing track of what he did. I'm sorry, maybe he did 859 or 860, somewhere in that range. Congratulations to him. He hit yet another PR in his squat. He tried 903 and made a hell of a run at it. He fell backwards and wasn't credited to lift, but an outstanding job by him. I believe he pulled 804. He struggled with his last attempt and didn't get it on the deadlift. He struggled in the bench. I believe he benched 473. Main reason he struggled there was he strained a pec muscle and could only handle about 90% or so, 85-90%. Eric Spoto. Eric Spoto also opened up with a world record and realized that that was a little bit of a mistake. Even though the guy is an absolute monster, an absolute savage. Again, powerlifting, a lot of times, any sport, is about building momentum, going into the next play or going into the next lift. You hear it all the time. You hear him say, Peyton Manning, he's got to get a rhythm going. He's got to throw some screen passes. He's got to run some draw plays. He's got to go throw short passes over the middle and to the outside. And then you start seeing him bing, 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 and then boom, down the field, right, for the big one. Everybody knows the guy can huck the ball 60 yards anytime he wants, and he could probably throw the ball and make it land right on top of a dime if he wanted to. But it's still about building momentum. It's still about building confidence. And you think that sounds funny because some of these guys basically are professional powerlifters, or in the case of Peyton Manning, professional football player. You wouldn't think they need to build confidence, but it's always about confidence. It always comes down to that. Anyway, fantastic meet, fantastic job. The women's pro-am was amazing as well. A lot of ladies hitting PRs. Kind of had your average gym goer chicks getting in there, getting in the mix. And it was great to see them do their first power meet ever. And you can kind of see that they caught the iron bug and that they're going to be addicted. Then you also had the higher level, the pro level females as well, and they were hitting some big weights. So another awesome meet from Super Training Gym, and that is it from supertraining.tv.